Obituaries. We see them in the news all the time. In a world of 8 billion odd people, more than 1 lakh die every day. But today's obituary is a little different. It's not about a person, it's an obituary for the written word. I mean, books. It may sound absurd, but it will make sense. When was the last time you picked up a book? When was the last time you spent hours just reading? No phones, no TVs, no distractions, just pure, blissful reading. For some of us, the answer could be yesterday, or in fact, even today. But for most of us, the answer is in days, months, or even years. The age old pastime of flipping pages seems long gone. Reading has met its untimely demise. Books are gathering dust, bookstores are shutting shops, libraries are being replaced by internet. Do you wonder why? Hello and welcome. I am Pranav Trivedi and today we will discuss a very important topic, that is reading dead in today's world? Do you remember your first book? For many of us, it would be a book of nursery rhymes, or numbers, or the alphabet. Do you know what was the first ever printed book? This one, the Diamond Sutra. No one is sure why it was printed, but we do know this. On 11th May 1868 AD, a man called Wang Shi commissioned a block printer. He asked him to create a 17.5 foot long scroll of sacred Buddhist texts. This is the earliest printed books we know of. Then came the printing press. This invention changed the game. It gave us the first mass produced book, the Gutenberg's Bible. Then there were paperbacks. They were very popular among students in the working class. They were followed by more durable options, hardbound books. And these versions have been around of centuries. You know what's the best selling book ever? The Bible. More than 7 billion copies of the Bible have been sold so far. The most expensive book is the Codex Leicester. It's basically Leonardo da Vinci's science diary. Bill Gates bought it in 1994 for 30.8 million. Not all books are this expensive, but they sure are priceless. Like the Harry Potter series. In the early 2000s, millions of Harry Potter's books were sold. For many of us, books defined of our childhood. The Huge Feast is the famous five letter summary. You wanted to become a detective like Nancy Drew. Harry Potter made you wish Hogwarts were real. Amar Prem Chitrakatha made history interesting. Books created a magical world, a world you could disappear into for hours. So, why is the world disappearing now? For many reasons, but the most notable one is this: our digital addiction. Most of us now live in our phones. If you are watching this video uninterrupted, congratulations, you are part of a rare few. But if you paused this video, checked the notification, scrolled your Instagram feeds, looked at some tweets, and have now come back to this video, well, welcome back. And you are now a part of the new world order, a world that is easily distracted. In 2019, a survey proved this. A survey of people under 18 years of age, only 26% of them were reading books every day. Sound dismal, is it? The figures are lower than any other generation. Young people are not reading enough. Many of them said they did not enjoy it. They found reading to be a futile task, and this was the global survey. But India is no exception. Although the reasons are different, in India, teens are not reading not because they don't want to, but in a lot of cases because they are burdened by their studies. Now there's a fun fact. The pandemic saw a shift in this trend. People were at home and many of them took to reading books. We have some data from the US. An average American spent 20 minutes reading a book in 2020. This was an increase of 21% from 2019. But that hardly enough to revive reading. In 2021, an average American read 12.6 books in a year. In India, the trend is little different. Reading was revived after the pandemic, especially for urban Indians. But what they read has changed. Young Indians are reading more self help books or books on personal development. The numbers are higher than ever before, and that's a good thing. Any kind of reading adds value. It's not for nothing that they say books are your best friends. And social media is undeniably driving a wedge there. It's a feasting on our attention spans, leaving little rooms for the quiet contemplations that books once offered. Why get lost in a Dickens novel when you can skim through 280 characters hot takes on Twitter? Who need to read when they can watch a 10 seconds video of a cat playing a piano? Reading, it seems, is just too slow now, too tedious for our modern sensibilities. And it shows in the numbers. Book sales. Global book sales were down by more than 10% compared to 2021. Global revenue was the lowest in 5 years. It was around $76 million. Publishing houses are shutting down like Amazon, Westland. For those that are not shutting shops, there are more troubles, like layoffs at the Penguin Random House. It's the biggest book publisher in the United States. So teens are not interested, publishers are in trouble, and bookstores are now ghost towns. In some countries, they are closing at an alarming rate. Like Japan, there are currently close to 12,000 stores operating in Japan. That's a 30% drop since 2012. Basically, people are not reading books, and those who do are buying online or reading ebooks or listening to audiobooks. There is no other experience like reading a book. The pleasure of untangling intricate plots, of deciphering hidden metaphors, understanding history and concepts, and exploring the depth of human emotions. It has been obliterated by the instant gratification of emojis and GIFs. Which brings me back to the question, is reading really dead? This is the age of image, and yet there is some hope.